Hey there, Melissa, and welcome back to my channel. So I have a new series starting today. I'm doing it on my own, and it's called Boy Friday. And so every Friday I'm hoping to scrapbook my son and make a video. If it's not every Friday, it'll be every second, or I might skip the occasional Friday. It's my series, so I'll decide what I'm doing. Yeah, I have been scrapping my girls and myself. I have 3 girls. So there's 6 in our family, 4 of us are girls, 5 if you count the cat. Okay, there's 8 of us in the family, 3 are boys, 1 is a cat, the rest are girls. And so the boys get a bit neglected, and I'm just very aware that there's a lot of stories I want to scrap about Sam in particular, and I haven't. And he has mentioned that I don't have many pages of him, and he also mentions when he loves product and that he has ideas or he wants pages done. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know how long the series will go for. It'll probably go for at least till the end of November, because then we'll be getting into December with December Daily and etc. So we'll see how we go, but I'm really excited about it, and I hope that you'll join me every Friday, New Zealand Standard Time, for a new video, Scrapbooking Sam. So for this layout, what I've got is the Pink Fresh Studio Out and About collection. I didn't get all of it, I got some of it. And I have a photo of Sam and I about to get in the plane. And yeah, I know I'm in the photo, but it's his story told by me. So I have been scrapping lately the Jiu-Jitsu Nationals from last year, and him and I went up and he competed, and so I'm really wanting to get the story told. So I'll just show you what I have left, or what I have from this Out and About collection. I have a couple of the clips left. That was from a hip kit, and I think I had 3 left and I used 3, or no, I used more than that because there's 8, but anyway, I had 3 left. I have the travel tags. I have the ephemera pack, and this is just such a cool collection for boys and travel, of course. I have the puffy stickers, mixed embellishment pack, and then I have this cut file, which is a Paige Evans one, and I'll show you what I did or didn't do. Oh, let's turn it around. So I cut it, and then I've just placed the inner pieces because I've taken it off my mat. And when it came to cutting these pieces, I did not offset them. So what I've ended up doing, I can't really back the cut file because they fit exactly, but I was thinking today what I would do is pop them up on foam for extra dimension, like, hey, I'd always intended this. So I'm hoping it's a happy accident. If I take these inner pieces, I've left, like, obviously these bits that cut in one go don't need to be on there, but it's just working out how I deal with these multiple piece. I think it'd probably be like that. Anyway, we'll work it out as we go. So that is that, and then at like there, I've cut it on that gorgeous, gorgeous sheet of paper. And anyway, you'll see as we go. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I did was sort out my cut file. I pulled apart the bits that weren't going to be used, and then I just used my silhouette tool to remove any bits that hadn't come off on my cutting mat. So some of these bits are quite small and they've been fully cut, but they just get a bit stuck between the paper. So that's all done, and the next step was to decide what to use as a background. At this point I thought I was going to use white, and so now I'm just placing the parts of this coloured paper that I want to use. And you'll see with the D that I had made a bit of a mistake when I was cleaning up the cut file, and I'd removed the wrong part. And when I say remove, I mean I did digitally had deleted the wrong part. So you can see there that the D in that pattern paper is a lot smaller, and it had cut the wrong piece. So the piece that it should have cut in the pattern paper is the piece that I'm holding now. So I'll be honest, I did freak out a little bit because I only have one piece of this beautiful stripe, and I thought, right, we can hand cut one, but I want it to match. It needs to be lined up on the stripes because all the as you can see, like all the A, D and V are all along the same lines. So it's not like I could place it anywhere else. But the other concern was there was no room anyway, even if I wanted to do that. So I'm thinking, right, I can make this work, I can fix this. And the best thing I could think of to do was to trace it. And because luckily the stripe's the same all the way across, I just used 2 pieces of the paper that weren't cut, or that were left, and just traced the D in 2 parts. And I just marked, as you can see there, where the join was to be, and I just cut slightly over that, so when it comes to placing it back on my layout, I can kind of layer it, and you'd never know. And in the end, it did work, and I don't think you'd know unless I told you. Okay, I'm just very aware that next door, the people next door could be outside, and my window's wide open because it's a beautiful day, and I really don't want them listening to my voiceover. But anyway, so here we go here. I'm just placing them all, and you can see there, it's kind of how it will look on the D. So at this point, I thought, I just really don't know about using white as a background because the cut file is white. So I went through the paper that I've got left, which is most of it, because I think this is only the second layout that I've made. And then I'm just auditioning a few pieces of paper to see whether it would work. But I think because I've used that bold stripe, nothing's really going to work. I think it would end up competing with whatever background paper I used. The one that was close was this grey one, but the last layout that I made with the collection, which is also the same trip, I had used the other sheet of that paper. So I don't really want to make another, even though it's the same story, I don't want to use the same background paper. So here I'm using, and let me just grab it, that's the Lindy Stamp Gang Magical Powder in Golden Sleigh Bells. And you just add water. You can add these to other mediums too, like paste, texture paste or gel, but I've just added water, and it's like a shimmery watercolour when it dries. And then I've just gone over the top with some Heidi Swap Colour Shine. I think it's called Seafoam. And I'm not entirely happy with the yellow. It doesn't really suit the yellow in the collection. And so when I started to make this, I mean, you'll see once I glue it down, I'm not that happy, but I'm happier as I progress with the layout, and I am happy with the final result. So at first I thought, oh my goodness, what have I done? I can't do anything about it because I've only got one sheet of that bold stripe. I did think about cutting around the cut file, but then I'd have to cut in the gaps between the letters as well. But I just thought to myself, no, I've got to go with it and just carry on and see how it works. So often I find with any form of mixed media, it looks like a hot mess when I'm starting, but by the time I've added my photo and my embellishment, it looks a lot better. So you'll see there it's quite yellow against the contrast of the white, which is fine at the moment because I haven't added anything. But when I add the pattern paper, you may see what I mean. I mean, you may like it. Each to their own. Anyway, at this point, I was fully committed. So here's another mistake I made. I didn't get the silhouette to cut out the inner part of the A. So all I did was get the other piece that fits there, and I traced the hole, trimmed it out. I used my X-Acto knife to just make a place to put my scissors in. I could have used my X-Acto knife, but the same concern I had was that I only have one sheet of that paper, and if I make a mistake, then I'm going to have to somehow piece the A together. So now I'm putting these bits in. Just using my liquid glass, which I've said in previous videos that you have to work really quickly with because it does dry so quick. So putting that piece, the inner piece, back in, and here, I think actually I glued everything else down. It was just the A and the D that I need to fix. So now I'm placing the inner part of the D. You can see the join at the top where the piece of red coloured of the stripe is, but otherwise you don't really notice it. And I've trimmed my photo as well. I had a larger border on it, but I decided to reduce it just so that it didn't take up too much real estate on my page. And with a cut file like this, obviously, unless you're going to have shaped photos, like you could put your photo in the U or in the P or anywhere where there's a gap, or even in the D, but I decided I wanted the photo to be this size, and I didn't want to make it too small. But, so I had to make a decision about where to place it, knowing that it was going to cover some of the words, but it doesn't matter because you can still see that it says adventure. So the title is adventure, but I quite like that it's a subtle kind of title and that it fits with the design. It is probably the major embellishment on the page is actually the title, the cut file. And then when it came to embellishing, it didn't bother me too much that I extended some horizontal embellishment because you could still see that it said adventure. So I've backed my photo with some fun foam, and I just get that from, I think, Warehouse Stationery or Spotlight. Yeah, initially where I live you couldn't get the adhesive backed one, you just got the plain one, but now you can, so that's great. So I've used this little tag from the tag set, and it says fly, which I think is perfect because that's the aeroplane in the back. We were flying up to Auckland for the No Gi Nationals, and this collection in particular has different modes of transport and features them through it. So of course I had to use things to do with flying. And now I'm just going through the embellishment pack and working out what I want to use to embellish my layout. Sorry, ephemera pack, which is an embellishment. So I pulled that little ticket that says air because I thought that was perfect as well. And just a few other things. That prone to wander really suits Sam because he is prone to wander. You think about toddlers wandering off, well, so do big boys when they think that they can cannot do what they want. But I guess we went to the big city. We're not from a big city. We live in a town, Alpine Resort town. It's pretty safe here. But up in Auckland, which is probably New Zealand's biggest city by population, our kids are not so aware that you can't just wander off. Anyway, that's a side story. I then wanted to place some embellishment on the letters around the page. I don't overthink this, I just go with what looks right. So that prone to wander looked good across the A. I've got that layered sticker there, layered embellishment. I did struggle a little bit with where to put it. In fact, I don't even think it makes it on the page. And then I just popped some of these flatter embellishments up on foam. I've got the mixed embellishment pack as well with the epoxy dots. And then with this layered embellishment, I took the backing off it because it was too high. So you can alter them how you want really. Put some double-sided tape on, and it looked much better on my photo when I did that. So I had to use these little aeroplanes, of course. I wish there were more in this collection. It's super cute puffy stickers. Tourist mode because we were tourists, and that little travel, it's like an epoxy sticker. Some enamel dots as well. And yeah, this one came together quite quickly. So I was going to just leave my journaling as to what I'd written on that tag, but then I thought, no, it needs something else. And so I just put my journaling in the U, and I'm happy with how that's turned out. This story will have a few pages. This is the second page I've made. This will end up being the first page that is put in his album. And then I'm hoping to get the next few pages done, probably as part of this series even. So then I thought I was done, but then I saw this paper with all these tickets, and it had the word epic. In fact, they're not tickets, they're postage stamps. And epic is a word that Sam says a lot, so I thought it was perfect for his page. I've just popped it up on some dimension. And that's my final layout. So I hope you've enjoyed my first layout in this series. I'm really excited to bring you some more boy-themed layouts, and I will be back with another layout next Friday. Thanks for watching.